Have you ever felt perfectly fine, and then, out of nowhere, a tiny comment or a late reply lights a fuse? 1 second you're joking with friends, and the next your heart is racing, and words you never meant to say tumble out. It's not that you're too emotional. What's really happening is that your brain's ancient alarm system is firing in a modern 21st century world full of subtle social slights. And once you understand how that alarm works, those sudden emotional storms start to make a lot more sense. Take something simple like sitting in a traffic jam. Everyone is stuck in the same line of cars. Yet one driver hums along to the radio, another fumes and honks, and a third panics about being late. Same situation, completely different reactions. Why? Because it's not the event itself that creates the emotion. It's the story we tell ourselves about the event. Psychologists explain that when something stressful happens, the first thing our mind does is try to explain why it happened. And those explanations trigger our feelings and behaviors. If your inner voice says, "Of course this happens to me, my luck is terrible," you'll probably stew in frustration. But if your mind says, "Well, nothing I can do about it," you might relax. Maybe even enjoy the pause. So the traffic jam isn't really the problem. The meaning you attach to it is. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Your brain is actually wired to react before you even have time to think. Every sound, image, or message you receive first passes through a part of the brain called the thalamus. Think of it as a relay station. Normally, it sends information to your thinking brain, the rational part of your mind. But when the thalamus senses potential danger, it sends the signal straight to your amygdala, your brain's emotional alarm system. Once that alarm fires, your body immediately releases stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart starts pounding, your muscles tense, your breathing speeds up, your body prepares to fight or run. Thousands of years ago, this reaction helped our ancestors survive predators. But today, the threat might just be a delayed text message, a sarcastic comment, or someone forgetting to say thank you. Your brain still reacts as if a tiger just walked into the room. That's why emotional reactions can feel so sudden and so overwhelming. And unfortunately, people who experience these strong reactions are often misunderstood. They're labeled dramatic, too sensitive, difficult. But what most people don't see is the history behind those reactions. Sometimes emotional instability isn't really about the present moment at all. It's about the past. Maybe you grew up in a home where mistakes were punished instead of understood. Maybe you were told to stop crying, to toughen up, to hide your feelings. So you did. You pushed them down. But emotions don't disappear when they're suppressed. They build like steam inside a sealed pot. Eventually, something small knocks the lid loose, and everything spills out. This is where a psychological idea called the ABC model becomes incredibly helpful. In this model, A stands for adversity, the event itself. B stands for belief, the story you tell yourself about that event. And C stands for consequence, the emotion and reaction that follows. Imagine this. You send a message to a friend, and they don't reply. That's the event. Now your belief determines everything that follows. If your belief is, "They're probably busy," you move on with your day. But if your belief is, "They're ignoring me because I don't matter," your mind might spiral into anger, anxiety, or sadness. Same situation, different belief, completely different emotional outcome. Over time, many of these beliefs become invisible. They turn into expectations, unspoken rules we assume others should follow. Maybe you believe people should reply quickly. Maybe you believe loved ones should always agree with you. Maybe you believe that if someone cares about you, they should automatically understand how you feel. The problem is, other people can't follow rules they don't know exist. And when those invisible rules get broken, it feels deeply personal. But here's the empowering part. Once you start noticing these beliefs, you gain power over them. So the next time you feel that surge of emotion rising, pause for a moment. Pay attention to your body. Is your breath getting shallow? Are your shoulders tightening? Are your fists clenching? These physical signals are your brain's early warning system. Instead of reacting immediately, ask yourself a simple question. Am I angry about what just happened? Or am I hurting because I feel unseen again? That question alone can activate the rational part of your brain and slow the emotional storm. Then take a few slow breaths. Deep breathing helps move your body out of fight or flight mode and back into a calmer state. You can also step away for a moment. Take a short walk. Write down what you're feeling. Give the emotion space to settle, because emotions aren't enemies. They're messages. Anger might be asking to be heard. Anxiety might be asking for reassurance. Sadness might be asking for comfort. When you treat emotions like signals instead of problems, something powerful happens. You begin to understand yourself. And here's a helpful way to think about it. Imagine your amygdala as an overly sensitive smoke detector. Sometimes it goes off because of a real fire, but sometimes it's just burnt toast. Your job isn't to smash the alarm. Your job is simply to open the window, breathe, and let the system reset. And with practice, you'll start recognizing the difference between real danger and false alarms. So if you've ever felt like your emotions are too much, remember this: sensitivity isn't a flaw. It's proof that you care deeply. And when you combine that sensitivity with self-awareness, it becomes a strength that helps you set boundaries, communicate honestly, and understand others more deeply. So the next time someone says you're overreacting, just remember, there's real psychology behind those emotional storms. And the more you understand it, the more peaceful your inner world can become. If this resonated with you, share your experience in the comments and subscribe for more insights into the psychology behind everyday life. Because sometimes, understanding your mind is the first step toward finally feeling understood.